but I believe you guys have some game balls to give out. We'll see if you change your opinion on that.
Yeah, we do have some game balls, and of course, the game balls are presented by Colony Pools. Flywithcolony.com. I think we may come to the same conclusion to get at the game balls, and since I'm going first, I'll spill the beans.
The greatest fans on earth. It's a bold statement, but would you expect anything less from Philadelphia? 58 years of heartache creates a toughness, a grit, a resolve not found in most. Sure, our prayers were answered, but now that we've had a taste, we're looking for more. Pond Lehocky, official partner of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Welcome back to the Pond Lehocky Postgame Show. I'm Devin Caney. Guys, it is our last update for the Diamond debate, and the debate this week was, has Jalen Hurts evolved as a quarterback in the offseason? Did he prove that in Game 1 against the Lions? I asked you guys to give out grades for Jalen Hurts, and you all kind of gave him the same grade. Mike, you changed yours a little bit, which I don't know if I'm going to allow that or not.
You guilted me into that, by the way. So,
I literally challenged you one time. You've changed, Mike. You've changed is all I have to say. But I believe you guys have some game balls to give out. We'll see if you change your opinion on that.
Yeah, we do have some game balls, and of course, the game balls are presented by Colony Pools. Flywithcolony.com. I think we may come to the same conclusion to get at the game balls, and since I'm going first, I'll spill the beans. And I got to give the game ball to Jalen Hurts. I mean, we've talked about him in a positive way and through some negative snips in there, but Jalen Hurts accounting for 333 yards and making, you're right, Seth, that big completion to A.J. Brown where that's a man's catch where he bulldozed that corner that was trying to get him. That was dropped right in there. So I'm going to give Jalen Hurts my game ball.
Well, I'm going to give it to A.J. Always Open Brown. In his Philadelphia Eagles debut, 10 catches, 155 yards. I think in one game he's shown us basically what we all thought. He would be a significant addition to this passing game, very comfortable with his buddy, Jalen Hurts. So I'm going to give mine definitely to A.J. Brown.
And there it is, 10 receptions for 155 yards, and of course, some big plays on those slants were fantastic.
I need a buzzsaw because I like both. I think I'm gonna. They're both getting 1.5 game balls apiece.
Well, I don't think you can saw a football in half.
What are you going to do with the other part of the ball?
Yeah, I'm not so sure.
However you want to do it. I mean, listen.
I'm not sure you get the same flight.
Jalen Hurts couldn't find any rhythm with any of his other receivers today. You know, and at the end of the day, you know, without A.J. Brown, he doesn't have these numbers that we're looking at. I mean, and then you turn around, you know, A.J. Brown without Jalen Hurts, he's not making the catches that he made.
Yeah.
So,
you know, people are going to look at that and go, 17 carries, what? You know how Philly fans are. We've done it too long.
That's what I'm saying.
There's
right.
so
exactly what I'm saying.
It's deceptive.
But Seth is right. You're right.
It's deceptive. You're right.
You really have to look at. I mean, I can only think of one play today, where they actually called a called running play to Jalen Hurts. Just one play. The rest of them, okay, you can chalk those up to, guess what? He's got RPOs that gives him the ability to pull the ball and go, okay? So you can't put that on the coaches and say, well, you know, you called too many plays for him to run. When you give him a run-pass option, you give him the option to run the football. And then a lot of those plays also were called pass plays that protection got broken down, and he had to flee the pocket. So there's a big difference between when you look at those numbers and say to yourself, oh, well, he ran the ball 17 times. Yes, he did. But it wasn't necessarily called. It wasn't. I guarantee you Shane Steichen didn't call plays today and say, I want Jalen Hurts to run the ball 17 times.
He did it the first play of the game, though. His first play of the game was a Jalen Hurts run.
Because you're trying to set a precedent in the minds of a defense. See, good offensive coordination, guys, is really about how you set up the mindset of the defense, okay? I'm gonna come out in a formation, and I'm gonna have 2 running plays off that formation. And I'm going to call those plays on back-to-back situations because what? I'm trying to get you to think that this is what I want you to do. This was what old offensive coordination was like. And then off of that action, I've got 3 pass plays that I'm going to give you off of that same action. So when you see them call it the first play of the game, they want them to think that, hey, Jalen's going to be running the ball today. We're going to give him called running plays today. If I can get you in the box, then guess what? I can get what I want in the passing game, especially if I can do it and I can keep you from blitzing. But the blitzing put a damper on a lot of things that they may have wanted to do offensively.
They were relentless with the blitz, and the only way he could escape was to do what he did.
That man's running for his life. They did have some called running plays, but it was a fire drill for Jalen Hurts today.
He really was.
He made them pay. In a lot of ways, he made them pay. And as I said off the top of this postgame show, I'm surprised that Detroit didn't have a spy on him, especially in the second half, especially the way they were blitzing. But most of the times, when they came after him, he found that little seam and wiggled free. And that's demoralizing to a defense. Seth, you know that.
Well, D, you can only do one thing. You can either come with it all, or you can run a spy. You can't do both. Because that extra guy that they bring that's unaccounted for, that's actually the quarterback's guy.
Right.
So you either coming and you're gonna pressure him and hope that somebody comes free, that one guy, that free hitter comes free, and he can get him on the ground, or you're going to come with your pressure and have a spy so that if he escapes, you got a guy in place to go get him.
Absolutely.
The first drive of the game after the Lions scored, I thought subsequently their drives, Goff looked really shaky, and he looked like defeated. So what was the difference in what they were doing defensively then to where later he loosened up and seemed to be a confident quarterback?
Well, listen, a lot of it begins with pre-snap, what he's looking at. Okay. If he looks at pre-snap and he's getting something that he's comfortable with and he can predict or he can ascertain what kind of coverage they're in, well, that makes him more comfortable. The more confused that they can make him, the better off they are because, he's sitting in the pocket and he's got this level of uncertainty even before he gets the football. Even in man-to-man coverage, you're better off showing man-to-man coverage than you are lining up 10 yards off. Because he's just going to look at the wide receiver and give him one of these. That means, hey, give me a 5-yard out route. You can turn it up and get 8 all you want. Then again, you look at that second series, Jonathan Gannon turned up the heat a little bit and brought a little bit of pressure. Yeah. By the time they were secure,
we were shocked, by the way.
Yeah, and by the time they were secure in a 2-touchdown lead, he had pretty much called in the dogs. And once he called in the dogs, that allowed Jared Goff to all of a sudden get comfortable in his skin all over again and settle in and settle down. And then he got hot.
All right, we're going to take a break, and we're going to come back and wrap this baby up. We're having a lot of fun today with the Eagles Pond Lehocky post-game show live at the Ocean Casino. Mike Missinelli, Derek Gunn, Seth Joyner. Back after this to wrap it up.
Philadelphia fans, we're cut from a different cloth. Born into a brotherhood and bonded to our team for life. We believe anything is possible because we've witnessed the impossible. While we may be from different neighborhoods, come Sunday, we are one, and we will be heard. Pond Lehocky, official partner of the Philadelphia Eagles.